Berlanga,
He
Canelo,
might.
Alvarez.
Canelo.
This is a tough fight to pick. You got the younger, fresher man, undefeated, knocking everybody out. I think he got like an 80%, 90% knockout ratio. Just young, strong, big, strong. Got the he's from BX.
From Brooklyn.
He's from Brooklyn. I don't want to get jumped. He got all that behind him. Got the chains strong.
Yo, Antt said, where he from? He from BX?
Hey, I ain't trying to get killed out here. New York people are crazy. Strong young fighter versus the older guy. What he got? Got losses. I got Canelo by whatever he want to do. Okay, but if you explain to somebody that don't know nothing about boxing, you go on Berlanga. What?
You actually could be right. Somebody that don't know about boxing.
Might be right. Yeah. I got a lot of casuals around me, but if you explain that to somebody and they see him and they don't really know boxing, I mean, if you know a little bit about boxing, you know Canelo. But if you really don't know boxing, you break it down like that, it's like, I'm taking an undefeated fighter. That's literally what somebody told me when Ryan Garcia, shout out to my Hispanic homeboy, I don't know if I can say that.
You got it.
He's like, why? Why wouldn't I take Ryan Garcia? He's undefeated. I'm like, all right, versus Tank. But it's just how it looks at it from the outside looking in. But shout out to Berlanga. He's getting his shot, man. He's been wanting this moment. But I just think it's ahead of his time. I don't know if the kid has the talent to be in the ring with a Canelo Alvarez. He won the lottery. Take advantage of this moment. Take advantage of this moment, young man. Learn from this moment. Give it everything you got. Throw that shit. And hopefully something land. Throw that shit. Take your this is a shot. I hate when people get in a moment like this and then blow it. Throw that shit. If you clip him, you clip him.
Just throw it, right?
Just throw that shit.
You get clipped, you because you was fighting. And then bro, I've learned this about boxing.
John.
People, as long as you fight, people be like, I get it. You know what I mean? But when you don't do it, when you don't fight, people is not trying to.
They'll respect him more, Sean, if he was just out just throwing him. And
you're the first person I heard say that. I have to salute you, sir. Yeah. You're right. Just fight. Just throw it.
If you get him, man, you even Canelo got his hands up and you hit him, he's like, okay, all right, okay, that's what we doing. But the skills of Canelo, you throw that shit, you counter, boom. Now you're waking up, you're like, oh, what round we in? We're in the back room.
Well, actually, it's perfect that you guys talked about that because, again, watching some tape on the ride over here, in the passenger seat, I switched over the driver wheel to my partner, but yeah, I wasn't watching tape and driving to LA at the same time. But I peeped the same thing you guys did, and in that, you know, Berlanga keeps talking about his IQ being underrated in this fight, and that's what's going to lead to an upset. And beyond him being from Brooklyn, you know, maybe his Brooklyn style will speak for itself. I had to get that one in from the mind, you know, I had to. But he's saying all the right things, and it does look like he's leaving no stone unturned. And I'm here at an NFL game, and in the NFL they say this is why they play the games, because any given Sunday anything can happen, and that can go for boxing too. So I don't want to sound like there's just no chance this guy has. He is young, he does punch hard, he is undefeated, but I'm a little I don't know if he's gonna let that shit go like you guys said, because he might you know, you get in there with Canelo, who's so much more compact a puncher than you are. He could punch in between your punches, and that could definitely make you think twice about opening up with your heavy artillery. And the problem for Berlanga is if he tries to elongate the fight by boxing more cautiously, he hasn't shown us really anything off his back foot. So it's not like he's Jermell Charlo, this athletic guy coming up from 54 that, okay, I'm not going to try to win, but I'm going to get on my feet and I'm going to survive. He doesn't really have that in his bag the way a Charlo would. And he hasn't really shown us that much offense off the back foot. So his best chance at impressing people in this fight and making a good account of himself is, like you guys said, letting that shit go. And that gives, it took Canelo a couple rounds to warm up the engine at 33, 34 years old against Munguia. Berlanga should try and let some offense go early in this fight. And if he does, he may get knocked out sooner than he would, elongating the fight by fighting cautious, but he'll at least give a good account of himself. He may have some moments early in the fight, maybe catch Canelo early and surprise people before Canelo gets him back and stops him. I do think Canelo's going to win this fight by knockout. It'll be the first knockout he'll have since Caleb Plant. And yeah, first knockout since Caleb Plant. And I do think it'll come in brutal fashion. I don't say that as a diss to Berlanga. I just think Berlanga, if he opens up on his front foot, the way he's going to get count, when he gets caught, he's getting caught and his head is snapping around with much lesser fighters than Canelo. So if Canelo can catch him on the button, and Berlanga, to his credit, if he's actually pushing forward, trying to win the fight, trying to take the fight to Canelo, I think we're going to get a highlight reel knockout. This is, just out of the sweet science of how the two styles and how the two guys open up in the exchange. If he doesn't try to win the fight that way, then it may take Canelo 9-10 rounds, and it'll be a little bit more of a dull fight. Berlanga won't really win too many people over with his effort in that scenario. So I'm hoping that Berlanga, it's so much easier said than done in this dangerous sport, but I'm hoping he lets his nuts hang and gives us some fireworks in this fight. And I do got Canelo by knockout. So
Canelo Alvarez is today's Aaron Rodgers of the New York Jets. He is the old man on the field. He knows his way around the field with his eyes closed. He can throw any punch, hit any route, can audible, do whatever he needs to do, not only to keep himself safe in the ring, but to make sure that he scores touchdowns. He's not going to take a lot of chances unnecessarily, but he'll find it and he'll work with whatever Edgar Berlanga has given him. But at the end of the day, the experience is superior. He's been to the top plenty of times. He knows how to act when he's at the top. He knows the energy at the top, a lot like Aaron Rodgers. Canelo's not giving those amazing performances that he used to give us, but he still can do his thing against just about anybody in the NFL or, of course, the boxing ring nowadays. For Edgar Berlanga, I'm looking through the list and I'm like, well, who could I give him? And I gotta go with Geno Smith, Seattle Seahawks. And Geno's up there too, but just to the point of this analogy, Geno is the kind of guy, he can win, but he also can lose. He can throw the Hail Mary, he can throw the touchdown pass, but he also can get picked off trying to do that. He has thrown big TD passes the same way that Edgar Berlanga has some big knockout moments. But Edgar Berlanga has shown that he knows how to lose just as well as he knows how to win. Not even knowing
no losses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not even knowing that he's losing fights. You know what I mean? I think that there's one, if not two fights. It's like, man, this is up in the air, man. This is too close. He ended up getting those victories. Kind of is what it is. But again, just to the point of the analogy, Geno Smith has the ability to throw that TD pass all the way down the field if he throws it. If he don't, and he hesitates, he throws pick after pick and he loses. So I see Edgar Berlanga not throwing that Hail Mary pass. I see him not going for it. I see him trying to be cautious. And upon being cautious, he's going to get stopped. I think this fight's going to end in under 8 rounds.
I would say if Berlanga comes in and gives Canelo 4 rounds of hell, it takes his career farther than if he just gets blown out.
Right.
You ain't never lied about that.
If you just buzz him, if you even got to hurt him, just buzz him one time where he like, okay, and you actually get him in moments where Canelo's covering up. He is not going to be expecting stuff like that. You just got to F what people think of you on the outside of the ring. It's the respect of the sport of boxing. If you go up there and give us something, we respect you more. And then for the most part, Charlo laid down. I know he got to the end, but as sport of boxing, we looked at him like, you didn't give us nothing, bro. Berlanga, give us something.
And let me say this on top of that, Antt. And I hope that somebody in the Berlanga camp sees this. My dad used to say, if somebody's covering up like this, you bang their arms. You break them down. if because we already know Canelo uses lazy defense nowadays. That usually revolves around him going here and being stood up by punches, and then after that he steps around like it's all good. Nah, bro, it ain't all good. But you know that nothing penetrated, and you know eventually everybody stops punching the gloves. They stop punching the arms because they're not getting through. It's kind of a misconception for boxing. Just because you're not getting through to the head don't mean you're not having an effect. If I was in the Berlanga camp, I would tell them, keep your work rate high, bang the arms, break him down. The only way to break down somebody down is not just the body. That's not the only way of taking power away from somebody. You punch on that muscle and you tenderize that meat, and pretty soon somebody feeling like jello all of a sudden. Somehow I can't feel my arms all of a sudden. The big knockouts we seen Edgar Berlanga have in the early part of his career, those same kind of punches, apply that to the shoulders, apply that to the bicep, apply that to the forearm, and apply that to that elbow right there, the top of that shoulder. Hey, all this right here is game. And if this is all he giving you, take it. Keep that work rate high, bang on that arms, bang on them arms, and break down his old man. And you might have something in rounds 9, 10, 11, 12. But that's if you're keeping your work rate up and you staying locked in mentally. Don't allow the fact that you're not landing flush to make you feel like you can't win and you're not gonna hurt him. Take what he giving you, break that down, and you might have something at the end of it.
And when that bell rings, the respect for Canelo has to go out the ring. Don't respect his game. Nah, you're another motherfucker in here with me. Don't respect who he is, because that changes a lot of people when they get in there with him. You're not fighting your fight because you're like, I know what he could do. But what can you do? That's what Berlanga has to have, that type of attitude in this fight.
Yep.
And hopefully he does.
And I'll go ahead and tell him myself, Keith Thurman, no respect.
Yeah.
I mean, none. Errol Spence Jr., no respect. Danny Garcia, no respect. I showed up in the ring against my boy Terrence Crawford, and I had some respect for the kid.
Yeah.
And it just didn't go the same way. You know, you gotta people don't understand that respect.
When that bell rings, Sean, it's a different mentality.
The appreciation of what somebody else has done has to go out the window.
Yes.
I didn't give a damn about how hard Keith Thurman hit. I had no appreciation for how hard he hit. And we saw it in the fight. I got buzzed a couple of times. But if I had went into the ring with respect for it, that fight would not have gone the way it would have went. It went. And y'all damn sure wouldn't have got an instant classic out of it. He want to make this a fight. He can't respect Canelo Alvarez.
Or you can write, just go ahead and watch Porter Thurman. Turn that shit up.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.